Hello, everybody. It is Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and I am so glad to have you here today joining me for a moment of presence. We are going to let a few more people join us. Please make sure that you comment, let me know who's here, because I can't see everyone that's here unless you comment. So let me know, give me a heads up, or a hey, a hoot, a holler, whichever. But I'm glad you're here. So today we are going to be talking. Hi. Okay, so here's the other thing. It doesn't tell me who it is. It just says, hi, Michelle. So hi, right back at you. Whoever that is, I'm so glad you're here. So today is a really special day for me because I have had a very interesting last couple weeks. And what I did was I was redoing my LinkedIn, right? We all have to take a look at, what's out there and update things every now and again. And hi, Tarina. And so I was going through my LinkedIn, updating a bunch of stuff. And shout out to Miss Molly who helped me, Molly Lowe. She's amazing. And there's this new thing in LinkedIn where you get to add media. And what was so amazing about this was I have been putting this off since I left corporate, as far as going through old pictures and old, hi, Cindy. I've been putting this off because, frankly, I didn't know how I was going to react. And when I left corporate, when I left healthcare, it weighed really heavy on my heart because it was it was my dream career. I was the person that walked in, and just happy. I used to say good morning to everybody in the hallway, and it just was my dream career. And so I just wasn't sure what this was going to be like. And I mean, there was a point where I even removed people from my LinkedIn because I was afraid if they were associated with me, that what happened with me would somehow affect them, right? And for any of you that are watching out there, I apologize that I didn't tell you ahead of time, but that was the whole point. And I am going to read you a poem that I used to go to work every day listening to, and I'll share that at the end, but it's about letting go. And what I found as I was going through these pictures was, instead of the heaviness that was on my heart when I committed career suicide and just did not want to have anything to do with anybody that was with the healthcare system, I was able to go through these pictures and videos, and I found a smile on my face. I found that my heart was lighter. I found that I wasn't restricting myself, resisting. I wasn't feeling crappy. There was this sense of, wow, what an amazing time I had when I worked there. And I loved all the people that I met, the patients, the families, the honor I had to be there at the end of someone's life. I was invited to be with the families, to be with the patients. I was able to do all of that because I truly came from an authentic place, and it was always a place from love. Always a place from love. And the whole reason I was there in the first place was because I felt like I owed them my life because they saved my daughter. And so I just wanted to share, for those of you that are sitting at your desks right now, maybe tuning in, or maybe you're watching this, on replay, that's fine. But if you're sitting at your desk and you don't want to walk out because you're not sure what people are saying about you, if you're looking at your computer screen and an email comes through and it's your boss and you feel that flip in your stomach and you feel sick to your stomach, or you just feel that rage coming up over you, And there were some times that I did this, sit at my desk and I'd just cry. And I'm not saying this to go back there. I'm saying this because, holy crap, I'm healed. I feel so light and so much better that I had the courage to go through all of my photos and look through all of them and have this renewed sense of gratitude for everything that I was able to experience and for everything that I learned. And that's the big thing, right? Because we all have to learn from our lessons. And so it was so important that I share this because not everybody understands what it's like to go from walking in and feeling so ecstatic, whether it's your first day, your 50th day, your 2-year mark, your 10-year mark, to go from being happy, like when you first get your job, to hiding out in your office or being under a boss that is just toxic to you. And I would leave those meetings in tears because of the things that were said to me. Now, had I had the right perspective, would there have been less tears? Well, yeah. But I didn't at the time because I hadn't gone through all of these lessons and I hadn't reached out for help. And so that's really important to understand. I'm not saying that I regret anything, and I'm not saying, oh, geez, I wish it would have been different. I don't. Everything happened in exactly the order it was supposed to, which brought me here. And if I didn't have those experiences, I couldn't reach out to all of you and say, I know exactly how it feels to sit in your car and cry, or to feel less because a boss tells you that not everyone likes you or values you or sees the value in you. I know what that's like to have the daggers just pushed into your back like a knife. I know what it's like to try to be accepted by a fellow peers, a group of peers. And no matter what you do, no matter what you say, they're not accepting of you, or they're just rude. And here's the important part, and this, I want you to listen up to this because this is so important. You cannot hide away from these people. You can't, because everywhere you go, there are going to be people that don't like you. There's going to be people that tick you off or say mean things. You can't hide away in your comfort zone. I have family members that drive me crazy. I can't cut them out of my life. So what can we control? We can control our own emotions, and we can manage how we show up in those situations. Some people say, well, put up your your boundaries, your barriers, block yourself from them. And that, if that works for them, then that's fine. But is it realistic? Will it get you healing? Yes, absolutely. And that's why I had to take a break from the people. I had to take a break from the space, the environment, and I had to allow myself to heal. So putting up those boundaries or taking a break, a pause from a relationship, I get it. But guess what? There's always going to be someone else that's going to show up in your life, because it becomes a pattern. We start attracting the same types of people because we haven't processed or we haven't learned how to manage those type of personalities in our life. So if you have a narcissistic sociopath boss or parent or relationship, and if you don't address it, you internally don't address it and figure out how to manage yourself. I'm not saying stay in an abusive relationship. I am not saying that. but I am saying, why is this in my life? What am I supposed to learn about this? And how can I manage my emotions around it? Because guess what? No matter what someone said to me, no matter whether someone liked me or didn't like me, it wasn't about me. It was about them. However, they were in my life as a reflection of something I was feeling inside. Not saying I wanted them in my life, but there was something inside of me that obviously I didn't like and I needed to address. So that way I didn't have those personalities coming at me. And you know what? Now that I've had that space, now that I've had that healing from this, those toxic relationships, whether they're there or not, they're not doing damage to me because I'm not allowing the damage. I've learned how to manage my emotions, show up, stay calm, be in the right place, mind space, in order to manage any situation. Now, does that mean that sometimes I don't lose it or I can't get chaotic? No, we're all going to be chaotic at some point. But it's being able to rebound from it quicker and be able to manage it better. So let me read this poem because I love it. And I think it's going to really resonate with so many of you out there. I found this on Insight Timer. There was a meditation teacher, John Cedic. He's amazing. And he read it. It is not his poem. It is written by someone named Sapphire Rose. And it's called She Let Go. So here we go. Let's all take a deep breath before I read. Ready? Deep breath in. And I want you to let the words as I'm reading just fall into your heart. Just really take them in as I read the poem. She let go. She let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around in her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all of the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement, made no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her. and the sun and the moon shone forevermore. That poem sustained me every day. I'd listen to it on the way to work. I'd listen to it on the way home from work. And I remember the moment that I made the decision. Nobody was around for me to say, "You think I should do this?" I saw an opportunity. I did think to myself quickly, what will happen if I don't take this opportunity? What will it feel like to drive home today if I don't take this opportunity and call out the bully? And I stood up and I walked over to my boss's boss. It was the only way I was going to have an opportunity to approach the topic. And I sat down and I said, "We need to talk." And here's the thing. I made the move. I did the thing. I committed the career unliving, I guess, because we have to be careful what we say. And I remember the moment because as soon as it all happened, I knew that now the ball was rolling and it could not stop. But it was the most freeing moment because I didn't have to hide anymore. I didn't have to pretend. And what was interesting is when I was going through all the different pieces of media that I wanted to add into LinkedIn, there was this one message that was on a live that I did a few years ago. And it was someone I worked with in corporate America. And in it, they said, "You look so happy, Michelle. I see so much joy in you. And I didn't realize how unhappy you were until I saw you now." Other people that I thought knew what was happening, they didn't. And so I had all this resentment. Why did no one stand up for me? Why didn't I stand up for me? Why didn't anyone speak up? I was afraid to speak up. And when they asked for us to speak up and I did speak up, they weren't ready. They weren't ready to receive the message. They weren't ready to take a stance. Well, I guess they did take a stance. And that's okay. That's okay. There is no anger and no resentment, and there's just this freedom. And we're talking about someone who used to drive by these places that I used to work at, and I would get hives and get anxiety just from driving by. And that doesn't happen. That hasn't happened in probably 4 years. That was the first to go, thank goodness. So if this is you, if you and I, if we're talking the same language here, and you're so miserable and you can't wait to get home because you just want to open up the bottle of wine, or you want to take the tequila, or you just want to go to bed, or you're snapping at your husband or your kids, if this is you, it takes courage. It takes bravery. But I will tell you that choosing yourself is amazing. There's healing on the other side. But when you break free from that uncomfortable comfort zone and you stop hiding, thinking it's going to get better, when you know that it is not going to get better. I'm not saying to leave your position if you don't have a position to go to, but I am saying that the work can start internally, not externally. And when you start showing up differently and you start looking for green flags instead of all the red flags, listen, I can tell you all the red flags that were happening at that time. But looking at those pictures, seeing the smile on my face and all the things that, I got to experience, there were a ton of green flags. But I was so deep in that quicksand of the red flags and the negativity. I was so focused on that I lost sight of why I was really there. And that's okay too, because it was all a part of my journey, again, to get me where I am today. So, who out there, if you want to make a comment or ask a question, I'm all ears. I'm here to help and guide so that you don't have to do it alone. I can't do it for you. I can't have that moment and stand up and do the thing, but I can be here to help guide you through it. I can give you the encouragement, and I can help you see the reflection of you that I see. Because when I talk to other people, I get to see the pureness of who they really are. I get to see the innocence of who you are without all of the gunk and the anger and the madness and the weight and the burden and the overwhelm and the loss of control and feeling frazzled. I get to just see you, the real person. That's why I love what I get to do. And that's why I love to talk to people. So if you have a question or if you have a comment, you can share it here. If you want to share it in a more private place, you can message me. You can send an email to info@mokshagrace.com. You can even join my community, whichever one feels right for you. But I have lots of opportunities of ways to speak with me. And I am always here. My ears are always here to listen. And if there's a way that I can help you, I will. Because I know what it's like to sit there. And I remember what it's like to not know who to trust. Who's on what side? Can I trust this person? Are they going to go back and tell this other person? Are they spying? Oh my gosh. You can definitely, back in the day, it was like I was creating a soap opera in my own head, in my own way, in my own life. And I used to watch them all the time, so I knew how to create that drama. What if none of that was real? And I still don't know. And you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this one said something to this one or this one told this. None of that matters anymore. Because the only person that I have to be in control of or manage is myself. That's it. And with everything that was accomplished, with all the things that were achieved, the awards and the events, all of it, and the families and the hand holding and the hugs, that's all priceless. And I wouldn't give it up for anything. Not a thing. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in and for listening. Thank you for allowing me to share my very special poem with you from Sapphire Rose. And let's do our deep breathing and end it on a high note, nice and calm and peaceful. So big deep breath in. Just you can just let out a big sigh. And big deep breath in. Maybe you want to laugh it out. We used to do laugh yoga. Brought in some woman who was doing laugh yoga. It was so fun with the kids. Big deep breath in. And hold it. Find your joy today. whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're working on, exhale. Go find some joy. Go find something to laugh at. Go do a dance. For those of you that are working on your inner child and finding that fun, go do a cartwheel for me. And I will look forward to seeing you right here next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.